Hello, my name is Wayne Alexander, and today we're going to be taking a look at synchronous workflows within CRM 2013. In previous versions of Microsoft CRM, workflows were always asynchronous, which meant no matter how you triggered the workflow, be it on creation of a record, on change of a field, um, the workflow wouldn't actually get triggered until sometime after the record had been saved. With synchronous workflows, or what they call real-time workflows, as soon as the record is saved, the change is instantaneous. So I'm going to show you today on our demo system. This is the web version that I'm using. So first thing I'm going to do is just navigate over to the settings area, and once I'm in settings, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the process center. And what we're going to do today is I'm just going to go ahead and create a new workflow. Now this workflow that I'm going to create is based on the lead entity. So what I actually want to do is I want to tell the system that if a lead comes into CRM via the web, then I want the system to automatically change the rating to hot. So I'm just going to give my process a name. I'm going to go ahead and select my category as workflow, and the entity I'm going to choose is obviously going to be lead, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And once the screen loads up, we're just going to go ahead and add our criteria. You'll notice that the workflow has slightly changed, the workflow screen I should say, has slightly changed from CRM 2011. In the case that there's an added functionality here, which is run this workflow in the background recommended. Now running this workflow in the background recommended is asynchronous workflows. So by default, when you create a workflow, it would automatically be an asynchronous workflow, and you would have to convert it into a real-time or synchronous workflow. So I'm just going to set my workflow now, change the scope to organization, and I'm going to say when a record field changes. So if I go ahead and just hit select here, I'm actually going to select lead source, because that's what our workflow is going to be based on. So when the lead source changes, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add our criteria. So I'm going to condition, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and add a check condition there. Always best to put in the description. So I'm just going to put in here, check to see if lead source is web. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my condition in here. So we select lead, select lead source. I'm going to go ahead and say equals, and I'm just going to go ahead and choose web. There you go. Save and close. Then I'm just going to go ahead and update the lead record. Added another step here, update record, and I'm going to go ahead and first of all add the description to say update lead rating to hot. If I go ahead and set my properties now, and obviously when I set the properties, it's going to go ahead and bring up the lead form, and I'm just going to scroll down here and set my lead rating to hot, and save and close. So as far as workflows are concerned, it's exactly the same as what you do in CRM 2011. Difference being is, let me just go ahead and stop this workflow. Always best practice. The difference being is this option here. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of this video that when you create a workflow, by default it would always run in the background as asynchronous, and you have the ability to convert the workflow to a real-time workflow. First of all, I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I'm just going to go and save that workflow. And once I finish saving the workflow, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the convert to real-time workflow. And now what we're doing is we're just converting this asynchronous workflow into a synchronous workflow. And you'll notice that option has now become is no longer read only ticked because it's no longer an asynchronous workflow. Exactly like what we've done before with workflows in previous versions, I can now go ahead and hit activate, and I've now activated my real-time workflow. So if I was to go into a lead and change the lead source to web, the moment I hit save, it would automatically change the rating to hot. Just be aware when creating lots of real-time workflows, it can affect the process of your CRM system after a period of time. So just be aware, it's not a case that just because there is real-time workflows available now in 2013 that all workflows should be real-time. Most workflows should still be asynchronous, and only when needed that you create the synchronous workflows. Thank you.